Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the singers, the singers only. Singers only. Hey, you guys, it's Kristal Cherelle from Indie Artist School. Welcome to the Singer's Arsenal. Today, we're going to talk about how to get your mojo back. If you've been out of practice and you want to get back on track and get your voice the way it used to be, then this is the perfect episode for you. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself why you haven't been singing. Have you recently gone through something? Are you stressed? Maybe you're really excited and there's been a huge change in your life. Maybe you got married. Maybe you moved, had a new baby, or maybe you lost someone and you're feeling down. No matter the reason, it's very important to really understand how you're feeling and why you're not singing anymore. A lot of times we'll say, oh, it's because we don't have time, or I don't know, I just don't feel like it. But usually there's a real root cause that it needs to be addressed before moving forward. So a while back, I graduated from college. And immediately after, like the next day, me and my husband got married. And it was a very exciting weekend, okay? Because the next day after that, I was already packed up and ready to go. And we both moved to another state together. And while we were both very excited about pursuing our dreams and living our new life together, and while I was very excited about all of these magnificent changes, it was also a lot on me. I left my family and it was very difficult. I was stressed at the time and I didn't really even understand it because I had such a mixture of emotions. I'm excited and yet also a little bit scared and a little disoriented. And I didn't really understand how those changes happening simultaneously and so quickly were impacting me and my actual day-to-day behavior. It wasn't until my husband told me, hey, or basically asked me, why haven't you been singing? And it was funny because, I had told him I want to move to a big city so that I can pursue music. And here I was in this new city with my new husband, living the life, but all the while not doing what I loved. Maybe you find yourself in a similar situation. Maybe it's for a different reason. But I just want you to understand that no matter how stressed you are or disoriented or maybe disheartened you are, maybe you're burnt out. It doesn't matter. No matter what it is, I want you to know that actually singing through it, if that's your passion, will help you get through it even better. And it will give you another thing that you can hold on to that's the same, okay? Like for me, I needed that. Music became my security blanket, okay? Like I'm just gonna keep it real. I enjoyed it and I always have my entire life, and I've been through all kinds of different changes throughout my life. I lost my mother when I was 13 and that was hard in the family. Like I said, moving away from my big family was hard for me, especially after that years later. And one thing I can say is I was singing, maybe not in the moment of grief or in the moment of stress or anything like that. And sometimes I needed someone to kind of poke me and be like, hey, you haven't been singing lately. It's really good to have people in your corner who will remind you of that, that little glimmer of shine you've got. And how much you enjoy singing. And maybe that person can be you. And, it's funny because you would think that I would have caught it. But sometimes when you're in the situation, you may not know it. So for those of you listening right now who may not have known really what this episode was about, I hope that this is your wake-up call right now. Okay, the second thing you need to do is start making a way. Okay, so I know it can be hard to admit, yes, I've let myself go vocally. I have not been singing. I have not been doing my vocal exercises. You might even think you've lost your passion altogether. But the thing you need to do is, instead of making excuses for behaviors that you don't want, saying like, well, I don't have time, or I don't even know if I like it anymore, just because you're afraid of what it's going to be like when you get back, I want you to start carving out time for yourself, making it a priority in your life again, and just making sure that it becomes a part of your daily routine, which is going to be one of the other steps, but I don't want to get too deeply into that. But basically, you have the option to make a different decision today. The funny thing about habits is that it takes a while for them to start getting ingrained. And sometimes, being off the wagon, so to speak, not singing is something that accumulated over time. And you, in turn, created a habit of not doing it. It may have even crossed your mind a couple times, and then you just made a habit of ignoring the impulse and doing something else. So right now, in this moment, you can make a decision. The next time I think about singing, I'm actually going to do it. And you can make that change right now. Before I get into the next step, I want to invite you to donate to this podcast by going to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. I really enjoy creating content for you guys and sharing vocal tips with you. Your funding helps keep this podcast alive. And so for those of you who have already donated, you guys are a real one. Thank you so much. And if you want to be a part of that community and help support the Singers Arsenal, you can do that by going to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. All right, so the third step you need to start doing right now is take some of the edge off. So sing casually is really what this step is going to be. The reason why I think it's important that you just start singing casually is because sometimes it can be a little overwhelming if you want to, if you're afraid of the commitment of doing everything up front and you just want to start getting your passion back. This is especially important if you got burnt out or if you have some kind of association with singing that makes it less fun for you. One of the things that you can do to overcome that is by just singing along with your favorite songs, humming along when you're washing the dishes, singing in the shower, just making it a part of your life and just make that be who you are, If you ever used to sing, chances are it wasn't something you thought a whole lot about. It's just part of what you do. And if the people around you are trying to remind you of it, it's probably because they miss it too. It's fun. It makes the house a little bit more exciting, more fun, more vibrant, and it's a really good mood booster for yourself and those around you. Don't worry about how you sound. Just get back engaged with singing so that you can fall in love with it again, and then you can start investing more in yourself to help develop your voice in baby steps. The fourth thing that you need to do is to follow a new vocal regimen. So if you used to be very structured with your singing and you were training, it's an interesting thing because a lot of times what happens is if you used to sing and you haven't sung in a while and you want to sing again, you might be hypercritical of where you are. Yes, it's true. If you're out of practice for a long period of time, you will lose some of your mojo, okay? Like you'll lose some of your ease. It might be a little bit harder for you to sing things that used to be easier for you. Maybe you've lost some of your vocal range, or maybe singing runs is a little bit more difficult, but rest assured it's not gone forever. But don't pressure yourself to be where you were right now, okay? That's important because what that does is it makes it harder for you to actually make progress from where you are because you're going to be discouraged. And I don't want you to feel that way. So create a new vocal regimen that starts from where you are today. And it's good to have someone new to help you develop that for you. So you can do that by getting vocal lessons even. I'm a vocal coach. Most of you guys know that if you've been listening to this podcast. But maybe you haven't. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you've never had a vocal coach. So if you would like lessons, you can go to my website, indie-artist.teachable.com, and I will give virtual lessons one-on-one with you and create a vocal regimen suited for your voice so that you can develop your voice from where it is right now and get your mojo back. That's indie-artist.teachable.com. The fifth thing that you need to do is to schedule singing in your day. So this kind of goes hand in hand with establishing a new vocal regimen and singing casually as well. But you need to start scheduling it so that you don't fall off the wagon again. Yes, I know we said singing casually with no pressure, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's important. But to make sure that you don't fall off again, give yourself a little fun reminder in your phone. Just maybe like a little calendar or alarm, something in your phone that will alert you and tell you, hey, let's sing. It's really cool if you give it a name that's funny or lighthearted so that it doesn't feel as stressful. Singing is fun. It should make you excited to be able to sing every day. Now, there's going to be times where you're not going to want to do it, but just bear in mind, it does take a lot of people over 90 days to establish a new habit. It's the way the brain works. So what you want to do is make sure that you're singing as often as possible. I tell my students every day is ideal. It doesn't always have to be a rigorous vocal regimen every day, but just sing something, guys. So there's this thing I've been doing on Instagram. I love that you guys are honest. Okay, I'm just going to say that first. But I've been posting polls on my Instagram every week, asking everyone, did you sing today? Or did you sing in the last 2 days? And I just want to know, are people singing more often or less often? And when I first started doing this, oh my goodness, so many people answered no. And it was kind of sad to me because I know how beneficial singing is for so many things, not only your immune system and your mental health, but also just for overall confidence in yourself. It makes you feel better. So I know that it can be beneficial for everyone to sing. So to see that, I was a little bit, I was curious about why that was. And then over time, just having that check-in in my Instagram stories, people started answering yes more often. We still have a long ways to go. We're definitely not 100% yes, but it's the accountability that just kind of reminds you, oh yeah, you know what? I haven't sung in a while. So even if it's not every day for you, maybe it's once a week, just something that will help you remember to sing. So one of the things I do with my students is I do give weekly lessons with them. Even if they don't even practice in between lessons, what that does is it makes sure that they don't fall off the wagon. It makes sure that they don't get out of practice or lose their progress. And so it's really helpful for that too. But yeah, just put a reminder in your phone, make it a habit. I want you guys to feel good about singing. I know that a lot of times I'm on here giving you vocal tips and just talking about what not to do, what to do, and how to enhance your voice, which is all very important. But one thing I really don't want you to do is just consume the content and not do anything with it. It's so important that you sing. I don't want you to beat yourself up. I want you to try. I want you to sing because you love it and do the exercises and invest in yourself because you want to improve and you enjoy doing it, okay? So number 1, ask why. Get to the root of the problem, you guys. Number 2, make a way instead of making excuses. Number 3, sing casually. Take some of the pressure off so that you can stick to it and get back in the swing of things. Number 4, follow a new vocal regimen suited to your voice right now. And step number 5, make it a habit so that you can gradually start making it your new normal and improve your voice. Well, you guys, I hope that's been helpful for you. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a sing